Welcome to the Psychedelic Integration Podcast. I'm Sinclair Fleetwood, a ceremonialist, plant medicine guide, and psychedelic integration coach, and I help soul seekers create lasting transformation so you can get unstuck, embody your power, and be authentic AF, all with plant medicine as your guide. If you're ready to go beyond visuals and get a vision for your life, if you know the end of your ceremony is just the beginning of your expansion, then this show is for you. I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome. Hey family, welcome to the show. I'm Sinclair Fleetwood. Thanks for being here. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes, or close your inner eye if you're driving. And imagine yourself in the not too distant future. It's spring. Dun, dun, dun. Spring has arrived. The grass is soft and green. The trees are swaying in the wind. The animals are running around being Twitter-pated. The birds are singing. The flowers are blooming. The breeze is swaying. The fire is crackling. And the drum is beating. The creek is bubbling. Where are you, you might ask? You find yourself sitting in circle with the family around the sacred fire at our resonance retreat here in the beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains of Appalachia. We are so pleased to invite you to join us this season. We have 3 gatherings coming up. The first one is in April, our spring connective gathering, and our retreat is 4 days here in the mountains, coming together, doing this inner work that we're going to be talking about today. Doing the work of connecting, the work of moving energy, releasing, calling in, being fully unequivocally present with what is inside of you, what is begging for your attention, what is asking for you to transform it so that you can be fully embodied in your power, in your highest expression. That's what we do in these retreats. We work with our master teachers, we learn from each other, and we do the inner work. And if you want to learn more, we would love to have you join us. The website is sinclairfleetwood.com/events, and you can book a discovery call with me to learn more and see if it's a good fit for you. We would love to have you. This episode is going to be a little bit spicy because I think we need to shake things up as we're coming out of the heaviness that has been around. I've been talking about this for a few weeks, right? This intense energy of contraction and constriction. And really, the work that we do in the integration space, in the psychedelic space, on the medicine path, however you want to call it, is a combination of always expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction. We are riding the waves. That is part of understanding how to do the inner work. And inner work is a lot of things, right? It's the way that you look inside of yourself, the way you orient your energy inside of yourself. It's self-awareness. It's bringing light into yourself. Self-illumination, as Richard Rudd says from the Gene Keys. It's a path of getting to know all these different parts of yourselves, all these different expressions, learning about your trauma, coming inside, going in and nurturing what is there with grace and softness and gentleness. And it's really remembering that you are a sacred fire keeper of your own sacred fire, and that fire is the same fire that is the fire of the sun. It's the same fire in every human that has ever been. It's the fire of creation. It's the fire of consciousness. It's the life force that binds us all together, and it's our job to keep it as bright and big as possible. And the way that the medicine works in helping us do this work is it's a bridge, right? It's a portal. It's inviting us to connect to this other possibility, this other world, this world where everything is energy, everything is vibration, the earth is alive, everything is working in such beautiful harmony. And it invites us to go on an esoteric journey into ourselves, to take all of this deep cosmic intuitive understanding, this remembering that we get to receive inside of these journeys and embody it, right? The inner work is the practice of embodiment. It's the practice of we're not taking medicine to leave our bodies. We're not taking medicine to go outside. We're going in. We are firmly rooted in this reality, in this body, in this time. And we're doing the work right here. And inner work requires so many different commitments. It requires a commitment to honoring your deepest self, to refusing to abandon yourself, to getting excited about the mystery that's unfolding inside of you, and being willing to be really uncomfortable. So I think this episode is going to be a little bit like a cold plunge where we're like, okay, we're going to work up our courage and we're going to jump into this stuff that might not be so easy to look at, especially if you've been feeling stuck, you've been feeling overwhelmed, you've been feeling in a freeze mode, and your nervous system has been, out of regulation. Some of these things might be hard to hear and hard to look at, and that's okay. That's why we're talking about it. When things don't move, when you feel a stagnant energy in yourself, that is a message that something needs to change. And sometimes we just don't have the energy. We feel lost, we feel confused, we don't have clarity. There's all these stories that we tell ourselves about, like why you can't move forward and why things aren't changing and why nothing's happening. And this is a challenge of inner work. There are times, just like if you're going down a river, right? You're in a boat on a river. There are times when the river is low. You might have to get out of your boat and pick up the boat and carry it sometimes. You might get stuck in the mud. You might flip out of your boat. And always our job is to return back to center, get back in the boat, clean it off, repair it, whatever you got to do, right? To keep going down the river. And my intention is to invite you to ask yourself, are you doing the inner work that you need to do to be where you want to be? Are you doing the inner work to move the needle to be where you want to be? Are you really putting in the time and energy and focus and committed space in your life to allow spirit to fill it? So we're going to get into that. So what is inner work? When I'm talking about it, inner work, it can be a lot of things and it might be different for you. It might be some of the things that I list and some new things. I think of inner work for me as all of the myriad of things that I do, that I feel, the ways that I think, the understandings that I have, the contemplations that I'm having, the practices, everything that is in the container of self-exploration, healing, and connection to spirit. Really, that is the point for me of inner work, is deepening my connection to spirit, which increases my capacity to hold the light of my own fire, right? And the way that I think of the light is like, it is literally the light of the sun. It's like the light of creation, the light of consciousness itself. It's that force that is behind everything that lives. It's being in collaboration with the universal creation, the cosmic mother, if you want to call it that. It's the recognition that we are sacred, holy beings here on a mission to be ourselves AF, right? It's self-reflection, it's self-inquiry, it's processing, feeling, and sifting through all of your emotions, your trauma. It's the process of digestion, spiritual digestion, emotional digestion, mental digestion. These, like, learning something's coming in and taking all the nutrients out of it and assimilating them and integrating them into yourself, releasing the rest, what doesn't resonate, right? It's shadow work. When we say the words shadow work, think about, what do you think that means? Just for a moment, like give yourself a moment, like what is shadow work? Well, I like to think of shadow work as not doing battle with your shadow. That's how I used to think about it. Like, I have to go in, got my sword, my sword and a flashlight, and I'm like, I'm gonna fight whoever's in here being shadowy. Like, I'm gonna kill everything in the shadows. I'm going to exile these dark parts of myself that I hate. Like, they don't belong here. And I realized fairly quickly that that is the opposite of what true shadow work is. True shadow work is loving the shadow, is recognizing the necessity of the shadow, is believing the gifts and the treasure and the secrets to the universe are inside of the shadow, and how you receive those gifts is not through force. It's not through action. It's not through intense sword fighting your demons. It's through softness and grace and sweetness and nurturing and patience, deep, deep, deep patience. And allowing, really allowing, accepting, releasing judgment, releasing expectations, releasing programming, letting go of all of these things that we have and we carry that are not ours, that were not needed. That's what shadow work is in my mind. And there are some times where we get in a little fight with ourselves, and that's okay. And my understanding of it now, after fighting for a long, long time, is I don't want to fight. I put the sword down. I am here energetically to embrace and love my shadow, to see these dark, shameful parts of myself and envelop them in unconditional love, unconditional patience, unconditional acceptance, radically love myself, refuse to abandon these parts of myself. That is how shadow work looks. And then there's the practices, the meditation, the mindfulness, the contemplation, the journaling, somatic practices, the ways that we get into our body, gentle movement, and even therapy, talking, discussing, moving energy. Inner work is moving energy, and it moves in all these different ways. It's not just one way. When I ask, are you doing the inner work? This is an important question because I think in our society, especially, we are suffering a lot, individually, collectively, as a whole, as a nation, and as a global humanity. Humanity is in a critical time, and there's a lot of pain and a lot of suffering and a lot of misunderstanding and a lot of scarcity and a lot of lack, and these ideas that we put outside of ourselves, that everything is happening for everyone else and not for us. So we're in competition, we're in comparison, and we're looking for any relief. We're kind of mining for little nuggets of solace and peace, and we're just looking for just like, I just want to rest for just a minute. And that way of doing spirituality is very unfulfilling. It's not a sprint. It's not a overnight thing that, like, okay, I'm going to find this program and I'm going to work with someone for a few weeks and then it's going to be fixed and I'm going to be feeling better and I can go back to the way I was living. This is the hard, important, serious truth. So you can receive it however you feel. You can agree with me or not. This is what I know from working in this industry and on this path for over 7 years. If you are not all in, it is going to be painful. And it will be painful if you are halfway in the old way and halfway in the new way. And I believe that we have to find the balance of living in the world in its current state as spiritual beings, as carriers of light, as expanded, conscious, loving, compassionate beings who are in the world. We're not trying to bypass the world. We're trying to bring our own beauty and light into the world. And what I see a lot of is people coming into this path having heard the noise about psychedelics, that that they perform miracles and they cure you overnight and they will fix you. And so we come in and we're looking at it from like a Western medical perspective as I'm going to take these mushrooms and they're going to act like a drug and they're going to fix what's wrong and I don't have to participate and I don't have to do anything. And what I see when that is the attitude is a lot of disappointment and a lot of stuckness and a lot of people feeling really like this doesn't work. And if you're expecting it to be Western medicine, it will disappoint you. It doesn't work like that. You can find some temporary relief. You can find maybe a peak experience. Maybe you have a big visionary experience. Beautiful. I love a good visionary experience. I'm a big fan of that experience. I am a bigger fan of the experience that wakes you the fuck up and invites you to change your life. Because if you want to feel different, if you want things to be different in your life, you cannot continue to do the same things and think the same thoughts and do the same behaviors and expect your life to feel better because you took a psychedelic medicine. I don't know anyone who has done it where it's like that, where they just took the medicine and now everything is fixed and they just continued on in their old way of life, but now they have this whole new understanding and it happened in one night or one retreat. You can get a lot out of these retreats. You can get a lot out of these experiences in one sitting, for sure. I'm not saying otherwise, but if you want the transformation to last, what are you willing to change? What are you willing to give up? And I'm not talking about like change your job, change your, leave your relationship. Some of those things have to happen sometimes. I'm talking about what beliefs are you willing to let go of? What safety blanket of ideas that you have about yourself, of what's true and possible, are you willing to offer in order to be free? These are the questions that psychedelic medicine is asking of us. Are you, like, how bad do you want this? Are you willing to change? Are you willing to look into the past, into your trauma, into all of the root causes of why you are uncomfortable and unhappy? Are you willing to look at those parts of yourself that feel shrouded in shadow and darkness? And can you carry love into those spaces? This is not easy work. It's like, oh, I'm just gonna like come into my shadow and love myself. These are the darkest places inside of us where we do not love ourselves. We hate ourselves. We hate these parts of ourselves. We feel shame. We feel humiliated. We feel there's deep core beliefs that we don't have access to, like parts of us that are in cages inside of ourselves, that are punished, that are exiled, that are abandoned, that are not loved, that are so disconnected from spirit, we believe, that we stop having any faith. We don't trust the process. We don't trust that spirit loves us and we're cute and the universe loves us and everything is always working out for me. These parts don't have access to those feelings. So how do we get them access to it? It's not go and eradicate the dark. You take the light in. That's how you eradicate the dark. You have to be willing to let go of everything that is standing in your way. And that could be relationships. It could be, what do you spend your time doing? Job, place that you live, anything that doesn't serve your authentic happiness, your soul mission, your purpose for being here, the things that don't light you up, the things that are mundane and soul sucking and, well, it's just like this. It just has to be this way. Does it? Does it actually? These are the questions you have to start asking yourself and ask yourself what is possible for you inside of the life that you've built for yourself. So I am not suggesting that everyone take a jar. I think you might need more than a jar, probably like, I don't know, a tanker truck full of gasoline and light your life on fire. Although for some people, the forest fire method works really well. I am a forest fire person. If there is something that does not resonate for me, I am probably going to pick up all my stuff and move across the world and fix it, because I need it like that. Some people are not like that. We have obligations, we have family, we have children, we have commitments that we have in place. And I really believe that we can, for sure, adjust things the way they need to be inside of our families, inside of our workplaces, you can do it where you are. You don't have to have this radical transformation of everything in your life all at once, right? For some people, that's great, but it's a spectrum. Doing the inner work for some people means blowing up their life. For other people, there's a more measured way of doing it. Maybe you take an off ramp. You're like, I'm going to exit this highway in 6 exits. It's like that. It's like, it doesn't have to be hard and smashy and blasty and destructive. It can be soft and gentle and easy and take time. And it has to be done. Or what happens when we don't honor these things inside of us that are begging for our attention, begging for change? It starts to look like illness. It starts to look like depression. It starts to look like nervous system dysfunction, chronic conditions of all kinds, hormone imbalance, sleep disturbances, PTSD, ADHD, all of these things that are our body's way of coping inside of a sick society. These are normal reactions to a world and an environment that is unhealthy. It's not that there's something wrong with you. It's that the environment is not well. So these are the ways that we try to cope. And our mind and body and emotion, they're also wise. They're all keeping us safe. They're protecting us. They're our biggest protectors. And that's why shadows exist, is like, okay, I'm going to hide these really painful feelings and realizations inside the subconscious where you'll never find it. I'm going to hide all the treasure there too. So you're going to have a fun time like going in and looking for all this stuff and finding it, and how exciting and how fun and also how scary and painful. All of that is true. This is not just a path of like, okay, we're on a path and it's a straight line and it goes and we're just getting better and better and better. It's just all over the place. The inner work, the path of doing your inner work is a mess. and that's the beauty of it, is it's this big, beautiful mess that belongs to you that is exactly right. It's a mess in the way that like the river system is a mess. It's very feminine with a beautiful organic structure, like the limbs of a tree, or the veins in a leaf, or the way the mycelium grows in the ground. It's, this is how life grows, is like a fractal web, and you can see this in nature over and over and over. There's all these beautiful sacred geometry patterns in nature, and we are the same. We have these sacred geometries in us. So it seems messy because it's not linear. And the linear world, the hypermasculine, linear, mathematical, logical, rational world is what we have been programmed. So as we're trying to reconnect to the more natural way of existing and being, we have to break out of these linear structures. And that's not to say that the linear logical mind is not useful. It's coming with, but it can be very painful to let go of your beliefs. It can be very painful to challenge your beliefs. You wake up, you take some medicine, and you're like, everything that I thought I knew is not true. So there's this time between when you discover an old way of thinking or an old way of believing is no longer resonating. You do not believe in it. It is not true. It's not dinging for you anymore. And the new way, and you might not know what the new way is yet. So there's this very intense period of uncertainty. And this uncertainty comes back again and again and again and again. And one of the things you have to do when you're doing your inner work and you're working on this path is get very, very comfortable surrendering into uncertainty. And how do you surrender into uncertainty? You have to trust. You have to practice trust. You have to do a trust fall with the universe over and over and over. And it is a practice. This is probably the most important practice, is when these fears and these beliefs and these negative thought patterns come up, into your daily life, you have to have a strong constitution and commitment to deciding that something else is true. This is where the difference between like passive engagement with inner work and active engagement with inner work comes in. So a passive way of experiencing all of this would be like, I'm going to go to a retreat, or I'm going to take a medicine, or I'm going to start doing ketamine infusions or something. You're going to engage with the psychedelic experience and expecting it to be, take a pill, symptoms gone, continue doing life how it was. That's a very passive way to engage with this work. And I believe in the power of psychedelics so much. You can do it like that. It will eventually get you because you can't stop the medicines. They will get in even if you're taking them like that. But a better way to do it is actively, consciously, engaging in self-inquiry, engaging in intentional container use, like using containers, being in containers, engaging in containers. And what do I mean by a container? A container is typically a group, but it could be, one-on-one, or you creating a container for your own experience. But you are putting this inside of a safety bubble. I like to call it a psychedelic spaceship. That's how I think about it when I'm leading ceremony. We create a spaceship. We invite you to come on the spaceship. We have some rules, but we are driving. You're not worrying about this. You are coming in. You are safe. We got you. We're taking care of you. The fire is roaring, and you're free to go, roam about your inner universe. This active way of engaging with psychedelics, you understand that this is a lifelong journey that you're embarking on. This is a deep journey of transformation. You are going to have ups and downs. There are waves, there are undulations and cycles. And you are saying to you, the universe, spirit, I am here to change. I take personal responsibility for my own happiness. I have chosen my own suffering. I am here to liberate myself from my own suffering. I am not a victim. When we are in these shadows, we are actively choosing the victim mentality. And that can be really hard to hear for people. That's why we have the term victim blaming, because it's like, why are you blaming the victim? Well, in the spiritual context, in the context of medicine, and the context of, what do you believe about why we're here? What is your worldview? What is your cosmology around all of this? What do you think we're doing here? My belief is that we're here. We are here to experience consciousness. We're here to go through things, to learn from things, to enjoy, to feel everything that is possible to feel. We are here to have every experience. And we're here to forget. We choose to come here and forget so that we can remember, so we can have the delightful, divine, lovely, exhilarating experience of remembering what our true nature is. I can't imagine anything more wild than God deciding to forget that it's God. Why else would we be here, But you get to decide, what does that mean for you? And if you believe in it like that, then it starts to feel possible to take responsibility, take personal responsibility for your life, where it is. Recognize that if you don't have what you want, there is a part of you that doesn't actually want it, or maybe you're not ready for it. There is a part of you that is not ready to hold it. Your vibration is not matching whatever it is that you want in your life. That's why it's not here, because you are not ready to hold it. Maybe if it comes now, you won't be able to hold on to it because you don't have the capacity. So our work is to build our capacity so that we can vibrate in the vibe of the life that we want to have. And, you're not going to hear me preaching about getting more stuff or making shitloads of money. I mean, I don't really like manifestation culture when it's, let's get a yacht or whatever. Like, I want to use my powers of manifestation to manifest health, wellness, and abundance, to have the financial and material means to serve as many people as I can, to deepen my connection and relationship with these medicines, to the things that I want to have enough to share. I want to have a place to share. And I don't need to know how or what it is. That's all I know is the energy behind it, There's no judgment on people who are, wanting to use their powers of manifestation for getting nice stuff. It's good. It's, I like a fancy place. I like I like nice stuff. Nice things are nice. And I don't believe that's the point. I don't think the answer is, well, we're all just here to get spiritual so we can have more money. Like, that feels really hollow and empty to me. I don't think that my personal path of abundance is and prosperity is not about money. It's about time. It's about love. It's about connection. It's about feeling like my purpose is being shared in the most clear and beautiful and amplified way. We get to decide, do I want to be a victim of my circumstance? Do I want to continue to stay in the quicksand of where I am in my life in this moment? Do I want to continue to be passive? Do I want to just keep consuming information and consuming podcasts like this one and consume, what are you taking in? We're consuming, our whole culture is just like take in, take in, take in, take in. What are you doing with that? That's the inner work. Take it in. You go sit with medicine, the medicine gives you a job. The medicine's like, here's the answer that you asked for. And you're like, I didn't ask for it like that. And the medicine's like, that's too bad. Here it is. Take this, integrate it, do something with it. And you're like, yeah, but I don't like that. And then you go back again and it tells you the same thing. Or maybe you don't feel anything at all. That happens a lot. People are like, I don't want to work on that right now. And sometimes it's not the right time. But normally, if the medicine is giving you answers and guidelines and feedback and, assignments, it's our job to go out into our lives and do the work. And if you're not doing that and nothing is happening, that is why. It's not because you didn't find the right answer. It's because you are not engaging actively in your own self-inquiry. You are not implementing the insights that you're receiving. You're not spending enough time going in. And I talk about meditating all the time. Meditating it's not there to be a clear your mind and think of nothing and now you're zen. And the way that we think about meditation is completely wrong. Meditation is a tool. It's a practice to help you watch your thoughts, to help you get some space between the thoughts that are coming in, these patterns of thinking that we have, which are directly related to our belief systems, our emotions, and our physical health. There is no physical illness that does not involve the brain. The brain is often anticipating symptoms. It's like, oh, pain is going to come. So it just creates the pain, even if there's no reason for it. If you start looking into mind-body, the way that the mind-body complex works and how the gut is involved, all of these systems in our body are related to the thoughts. And we have compartmentalized all of this stuff. So the active engagement with your inner work is reintegrating everything and recognizing that nothing is separate inside of you. Your spirit, your emotions, your mind, and your body are one thing. And it's our job to take care of ourselves in the best possible way so that you can have the resources, you can feel resourced to go into yourself and do whatever you need to do to be in a good vibration. It's really that simple. And like I said, the most common misconceptions about this work are thinking that you can take one psychedelic experience and it's going to fix 40 years of of like negative thought patterns and a belief system that's not serving you, and or even thinking like, oh, I don't really have capital T trauma, so I don't need to do inner work, like I'm good. But you're not feeling good. You can tell if you're doing well or not. How do you feel? It's very easy. If you feel anxious, if you're feeling out of balance in some way, there's work to be done. So how do you know if you're doing your inner work, or how do you know if you're avoiding it? What does avoidance look like? Well, it might look like half-assing it, like you want to do this and it's like kind of important, but not really. And maybe you're just like not putting very much into it. Maybe you are distracting yourself with work or entertainment or social media or literally anything else that is not working on yourself. Let's say you're just thinking about everything all the time. This is the most common one, is like really getting stuck in the mind and not moving the energy and moving your awareness and moving the consciousness throughout the body, not engaging with the emotions that are coming up, pushing them aside, pushing them aside. And you might feel numb. Like a lot of people come into this work and they're really in their heads and they're just feeling really numb and they don't have the ability to feel. They're not feeling. And so they have a belief, they develop a belief. This doesn't work for me, or I'm just not the kind of person that's going to get healing from this. And the work there is bringing the emotions into balance, working on making your nervous system feel safe so that you feel safe to feel, working on the physical body and allowing the physical body to feel safe. So that might look like doing a lot of gentle restorative yoga. It might look like listening to yoga nidra. It might look like doing different, safety meditation, somatic experiencing, really allowing the body and the tissues to prepare to feel all this stuff. Because if you're avoiding your inner work and you're not really doing it, it's not necessarily because you don't want to. It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're just like, you don't care, because you wouldn't be listening to this if you didn't care about yourself. But it might be that you don't have the resources that you need to move to the next step. So you just get sort of stuck somewhere. And that's where coaching really can come in and help move things. If you are in these like long-term kind of quicksand places where you're just spinning your wheels and like nothing is happening, there is something that needs to be sussed out there. There is something that needs to be worked on, and getting support can really help pull you out of that and help you see the places where you get stuck and like, what does it mean when you freeze? Why are you activated in this way? Freeze is a trauma response. Flop is a trauma response. Flop is sort of where you just like, it's like freeze, but it's more from like an exhaustion rather than a fear place of just like, I just like can't, because I'm like so overwhelmed and tired of doing this stuff and thinking about it, that it sort of, to me, it makes me think of like just the mental energy just gets, it's like a running on a hamster wheel, and it can't really stop. So everything else stops. It's like the mental energy is not going, it's just running. So the body and the emotions are just like, I'm out, bro. Like, see ya. Good luck, And this stuff is really intense and requires deep care. It requires attention. And it's not going to be like a fast food experience where you're just like, okay, I'm just going to like tap into this for 20 minutes a week. 20 minutes a week isn't going to do shit. I hate to tell you. You need to do something daily. You are going to have to do something daily to get to these difficult emotions, to get to these to get to uncover these self-truths that are waiting to show themselves to you. And over relying on the psychedelic compounds and the psychedelic experience is also a form of bypassing. Like it's not inside the experience necessarily. That is just a bridge. It's a portal. It helps you go deeper within yourself. It is not the cure, and it's not the full answer. So if you're just taking tons of psychedelics and not processing anything that's happening, it's the same as avoiding it completely, right? If you feel resistant to change, if you feel resistant to change despite knowing that change is necessary, if you see recurring patterns in your relationships, you are seeing these recurring patterns, you feel stagnation, anger, frustration, anxiety, these are all emotional signs that there is something that needs to be felt. Resistance can be sacred. We talk about resistance a lot and like allowing, right? Because allowing is sort of the polarity of resistance. Allowing. Resistance is there because it's protective. If you think about an animal, like let's say, I like to think about like a feral cat. Let's say you find a little feral kitten, right? So this is a little baby kitten that's been left alone. It lost its mom somewhere. Maybe it's outside. It's living on the streets. It doesn't have a lot of food. It doesn't have its little cat pack with it. It doesn't have its little family, and it's alone and it's scared. We're the same way. And how we want to approach ourselves in these places of like anxiety, frustration, agitation, anger is not get a big net and a knife and like chase this chase this thing. It's like put the weapons down, right? Put the weapons down, put the expectations down, put the aggression down, put the anger at yourself down. Allow yourself grace. Give yourself unconditional permission to explore what is there. And one of the most beautiful practices in this is something I learned in the Gene Keys, the art of contemplation, where you just bring your energy to this thing that feels challenging and sit with it. It's a somatic practice. It's a meditative practice. It's a mental practice. It's an emotional practice, and it's physical. And it's soft and gentle, and it invites you to just be with it without trying to change it, without trying to do anything. And so much of this inner work that we're doing is witnessing, becoming the sacred witness, watching the ways that you behave that you don't like, the patterns that you get stuck in, the thought patterns that you get stuck in, and noticing the resistance you have. If you have a difficult feeling coming up and you're avoiding it, and you're kind of fighting with it and you're resisting it, the resistance is there to tell you, okay, I need more softness. I need more time. I need more gentleness. It's not telling you don't put attention to this. It's asking you to soften, right? Resistance is a sacred messenger of softness. Anger is a sacred messenger that you need softness, that you need to honor your sacred anger, right? Anger is a messenger that there is something that's rising in you that's ready to be healed. And these things feel really uncomfortable. So then we start projecting, we start blaming other people for our own internal struggles. We start rationalizing, well, I was just born like this, We stop taking personal responsibility. We start being in denial. We start telling ourselves stories like, I'm never going to heal this. There's no exceptions. Like that for me is something that I have to do. I enjoy journaling a lot. These things start to come up, the ways that the ego avoids being looked at deeply. It's defense of like, oh no, well, it's your parents' fault. Well, it's your partner's fault. Well, if you just had XYZ, it's your fault. Often this voice turns inward and starts to really criticize you. And it's like, it's your fault because you're not good enough in some way. And you're not worthy of love. You're going to be alone forever. Whatever the thing is that you tell yourself, right? You're never going to make it. And then it's just this cycle of self-abuse and projection and rationalization and denial. All of these are tactics of avoidance that we do to like not actually do the work. When you see these resistive qualities in yourself, you see avoidance coming up, you see, I keep showing up in my relationships like this. Can you try to be radically honest? Can you be so fully in acceptance of what is there? Can you open all the windows inside of yourself and let whatever come out? Like maybe your house is on fire inside. Maybe black smoke is what's coming out. Can you be okay with that? Can you allow yourself, you're like, wake up, you're like, I am really fucking angry today. I am going to go into the woods and scream. I am going to ask a tree if I can hit it with a stick. I'm going to throw stuff. I'm going to break stuff. Whatever you need to do. You don't have to deny these feelings. In fact, you cannot deny them. You have to invite them in and be willing to do whatever the feelings are asking of you, right? Because you have the ability to do this. You have the capacity to do it. This is how you build capacity, is going to the edge and looking into the abyss and saying, you know what? I can take another step. And walking into it and allowing the ground to meet your feet, even though you can't see it. It's a wild journey, you guys. Like this is a crazy thing that we're trying to learn how to do as humans. We are healing the collective. We are healing ourselves. We are healing our relationship with spirit. We're remembering who we are. It's also beautiful and it's really scary and it's okay. It's okay. And how you work through this avoidance is to stop judging yourself, to give yourself grace, to give yourself unconditional permission to be a huge fucking mess, no matter how long it takes, to be so self aware, to be so loving toward yourself, to be a parent to yourself, to reparent yourself, to be that gentle, loving, nurturing presence that finds this little feral kitten and sits with it until it feels comfortable to come and climb in your lap. And then you take it home and you nurse it back to health. That's how soft we're going to be with ourselves. We're going to give our little flea-ridden, swollen belly, wormed out kitten selves all the love and trust and care and compassion and gentleness that we have. And you don't have to do this alone. I really recommend get support. If you are struggling with this stuff, get a coach, get a therapist, get whatever you prefer. You know, I have said many times why I love coaching is because coaching is not therapy. We're not here to talk about the problem. We are here to move you out of it into a more resonant expression. That's why I named my retreats Resonance, because resonance reminds me of a vibration that is true. It's the heart shooting love out into the world and receiving that back. And like being in the same vibration as all that is, being in the vibration of love, being in the vibration of compassion, of acceptance, of beauty, of demanding beauty. You know, like life is beautiful, and I will take nothing less than that. Like being so empowered in yourself that you are like, you can throw whatever at me. I will receive any hardship. I will handle it with such power and grace. Nothing can stop me because I am a child of the universe. If you're having trouble connecting to that understanding, get some support because it can really help. How can you do this on a daily basis? The first thing you have to do is commit. You've got to make a commitment to yourself. You need to make a promise to yourself. I promise you that I am going to come and sit with you for 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, however long it feels for you. The amount of time is up to you. But you've got to get yourself into the right relationship with this work. You have to sit with yourself. You have to open yourself to doing practices. I love meditation. I love doing journaling. I do gratitude, movement. There are certain things that I do every day. I don't do the same things every day. I meditate every day. I do visualizations. I'm working with the gene keys. That's my learning component right now, is like finding something, a structure, a core, some kind of like something to keep you steady and motivated and give you tools that are helping you. I like that. I like this being in the beginner mode and student mode. I like to learn. I like having, mentors and guides, and we go through phases with that. Like sometimes we come into some teachings and we're like, oh yeah, I want to really engage in this and go deep with it. And then maybe we fall off the wagon and then we get back on it. It's like, you can be soft and gentle with yourself. You don't have to be perfect. In fact, you're not going to be perfect. You're going to get excited about something and probably do it a bunch, and then maybe it falls off a little bit. But you have to do something. You have to have daily practices or this stuff will not land. I was joking with my partner. We were laughing about, because we were talking about this episode that I was going to make, and it was like, are there people out there who are not just doing the daily work like 24 hours a day? Because we have moved so much energy and so much has happened in our inner lives in like since we met each other. And it's been like that for me for years of, periods where I go through being really stuck and like not feeling the energy and knowing that that's part of the process, but still it's not fun. It's like really, sometimes it's so sticky and hard. But I always come back to, what practices am I doing? Like, how am I spending my time? Is my time just getting sucked away by looking at social media or consuming or being entertained or whatever? Like, we have so much time in a day, really. So you get to decide, what is your priority? What is your priority? And you can engage in this 20 minutes a day is really all you need. Taking a walk every day is a beautiful engagement tool. Listening to meditations or talks or podcasts that you enjoy, that's engaging. But go on the next step. Like, what are you learning from these things, and how are you taking, like, what's the takeaway, and what are you doing with it? And this is not to add new things all the time. Like, we don't need to have 30 things that we do every day. Like, that's too many, right? You want to find a balance. And for me, I need to engage all of my bodies, right? So I want to engage my mental body, I want to engage my physical body, I want to engage my emotional body, and I want to engage my spiritual body. And so each one of those parts of me needs a special treat that I give it every day. And some of them overlap, right? So my meditation is a gift that I give myself. It's what I do the very first thing I wake up. And I do guided meditations. Right now I'm doing Gene Keys meditations because I'm super into the Gene Keys and I love it and it makes me happy. And it's also supporting me carrying the energy and the vibration of these practices and the way that I want to feel and the intention that I'm setting for my day throughout the day. It's like checking me back in, right? When I meditate, that's for my mind, it's for my body, it's for my emotions, and it's for my spirit. I do physical activity every day. I either take a good walk, I do yoga, I do strength training 3 times a week. I am like one of those dogs that has to be run. Like, I need physical activity. And when that is the thing that for some reason gets like knocked off my schedule, usually because I'm working too hard or something, I notice it immediately and I'm like, you cannot, this is a non-negotiable. This is a high vibe essential. If you want to have a high vibration, you have to move your body. It helps me to process, it helps me to get things out. I do a couple of different kinds of journaling. Sometimes if I'm feeling like there's a lot of noise in my mind, I call it like purge journaling or trash journaling, where I do it on my laptop and I'm just like, blah, like really just getting like opening the channel and letting all of the dumb, weird stuff in my brain like come out. And then I delete it because it's trash. It's like, this doesn't need to be in here. I need to take it out, right? And then there's other journaling where I'm like wanting to be more intentional. And I usually do that kind at night where I'm like something is coming through and I want to understand it. I use sometimes it's just a little note. I like to do gratitude and intention setting, which this is just really a little check-in with yourself. I'm doing a practice of pausing that is part of the Gene Keys work that is like, every day, 2 or 3 times a day, I take a pause for 3 minutes. I stop what I'm doing and I go and I sit and I listen to a 3-minute meditation and I just breathe and I reconnect. I'm like, okay, what am I doing here? What is like, what's present? What's coming up for me to work through and to connect with? What do I need to know? Where am I emotionally? It's just like a check-in. And I also invite spirit to rush in, I'm like, spirit, fill me, like, come in and help me be in myself. Help me be a hollow bone for your expression of who I need to be. And, in a more long-term way, getting support, joining a group. I have a group, it's called Nest. We meet every Wednesday. We talk about all this stuff. It's the place to do the work, right? And you can go to therapy, you can do one-on-one coaching, you can do programs, you can, find something that you love to learn about and find a path to get deeper into it. This doesn't mean you have to quit your job as an accountant and become, a Reiki healer or something. You can do this from where you are. You can do it exactly in the job that you have. You can do it in the relationship that you have. You have to do it where you are. We don't have to change everything to be happy. The happiness comes from within. Satisfaction comes from within. It's not the stuff. It's not the relationships. It's not the house. It's not the money. It is you and spirit. And I say you and spirit. It's like little you, your embodiment in this body in this lifetime. Big you, your higher self, your expanded self that exists in another dimension, and spirit itself, all of consciousness, everything that exists. That's what this relationship is about. And getting the ideal partner or having this idealized life that you think will make you happy So many times I see people who are like, oh, I had it all. I had all the money. I had the career. I had the wife. I had the kids. I had the house. I had the car. I had the second house. I had a yacht, whatever. I was miserable because I did not have a connection to spirit. So you can circumvent all of that. You don't have to go through, get all the stuff, and then realize, oh, I'm still unhappy. Do the work now. Get right with spirit. That's where the happiness is. That's where the joy is. That's where the peace is. It's in here. It's not something that is missing from you. You are not missing anything. You are fully whole. And that's the journey that we have to go on, is to remind ourselves that. And if you're doing psychedelic medicines, you need to create a personal ritual. You need to create an integration, acute integration process that you go through. So you go to a ceremony, you go to a retreat. What are you doing when you get home? How do you ground from the experience itself? Do you journal? Do you write it down? Are you taking notes? What is the plan? If you're just letting this stuff come in, it's sort of like an ocean wave. It's like, whew, here it is. And you're like, oh, engulfed in the ocean of everything. And then it's gone. And if you don't do anything to land it in you, it's hard to hold on to it. It's hard to stay connected. It's hard to stay open. You have to practice, and it starts before you even get on the plane to go to the place. Start doing your integration work. Start pre-paving the way. You want to see something change? Make it possible. Make it happen. These medicines are such a beautiful gift. They're our grandparents. They're our teachers. They're our guides. They're our partners. And they don't replace consistent, dedicated, daily effort. They don't do all the work for us. They're just here to help us. They're here to help us be free. They're here to help us be more ourselves. And often we need to take breaks from them so you can integrate what came through. I know this a lot because I work with medicine quite a lot, and I'm about to go to Ecuador for 6 weeks to do some deep integration and intensive medicine work with my medicine family. And then I'm coming back here and I'm doing a retreat. And then I have a couple months off and then I'm doing another one. So, and then, I take time off in the winter. And I've taken long breaks from medicine in my career of doing it. Like I think the longest I went since I started this was maybe 6 or 8 months where I just didn't have any because I just needed the medicine of the season I was in to be my medicine. I needed the medicine of integration more than I needed the psychedelics themselves. Find the right family, find the right guides, find the right circles, find the people that are doing this work with you and connect with them. And it's beautiful to have online connection, but we need in-person connection, We need to have trusted friends and loved ones who can receive these transmissions that we're having, that you can talk about it with and you can be completely honest and open with. Join an integration circle, go to events in your city, look up the psychedelic society of your city. You will find other people that are doing this work. Start going to singing circles, go to gatherings where other like-minded people will be, and you will make new friends. But you can't just make new friends and find the people when you're sitting at home by yourself feeling sad. Like, it doesn't work like that. Pace yourself, be compassionate, give yourself unconditional permission to provide for your own needs, and do it with grace and softness and gentleness, and you will never be steered wrong. This is how you do the inner work. Reminding you, you are not alone on this path. I offer one-on-one coaching. I offer group coaching inside of my Nest container. I offer ceremony and retreat. You can find out more about how to work with me on my website, sinclairfleetwood.com. I would love to connect with you and support you on this path. And you can do it. You can do this inner work. You are doing it. And this is what it looks like. It looks like taking it all in, finding the places where you want to start and getting started and just doing it. And do a little bit every day. That's all you need to do. Thanks for being here. See you next time.